The Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons from Melbourne, Australia, and Louisiana State University.
Ben Simmons is the current star point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, a player drafted first overall in a stacked NBA draft class, with analysts comparing him to a jump shot away from being LeBron James Part 2. Ben has always been expected to be one of the main leaders of the team, and during his rookie year, he was absolutely incredible. He was showing elite passing skills and defense that even NBA veterans were stunned at. But now, Ben has turned into a player who is now considered as unplayable in the last minutes of an important playoff game. And now, coming into the next season, Ben has relapsed into a former shell of himself, demanding to be traded off the team and not wanting to participate in playing any more basketball games with the Philadelphia 76ers. I want to focus on how a player with high expectations can lose all their motivation to play when put in the right environment. In this video, I will be talking about the belief that criticism and negative feedback destroys confidence. Leaks of Ben's arrogance started to spill during his rookie year. While facing off against star point guard of the Utah Jazz Donovan Mitchell, both Ben and Donovan showed their strengths in their respective attributes. Ben with defense and passing, and Donovan with scoring the basket. However, when asked by the media about which rookies have caught Ben's attention, Ben replied with, "None." He didn't even acknowledge Donovan's existence as competition. This type of arrogance developed further in Ben as he ended up beating Donovan in the Rookie of the Year award. As Ben continued to play, he started to develop this mentality where he would not improve as a player offensively. However, fans were ignoring his flaws and lack of improvement because at the time they were too amazed with how good Ben was as a player. In 2019, Ben signed a 5-year, $177 million contract. This massive contract helped develop his mindset of, why bother improving an offense when I already have the defense and passing abilities to be a star player? This type of belief perseverance stayed with him, even though the media has constantly asked him about why he hasn't improved on offense as a player. As time progressed, fans became increasingly more worried about his improvement as a player. Ben's stagnated growth and not having a will to improve gave Philadelphia fans more reason as to why they should start growing hate towards their star player.
And I'm speaking of the offense. Ben only took 4 shots, and he passed up a dunk late. Is there anything that you have to talk to him about, or is that just nerves, or what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously he struggled from the free throw line, and that became a factor in the series. There's no doubt about that. Still believe in him, but we have work to do. We're gonna have to get in the gym, put a lot of work in, and go forward.
Thanks, Coach.
Coming into the recent 2021 NBA playoffs, Philadelphia was up against the Atlanta Hawks in the semifinals. The Hawks were able to capitalize on the hack-a-Shaq strategy, or in this case, the hack-a-Ben strategy, where the Hawks would intentionally foul Ben Simmons and he would go on to miss one or both of his free throws. In the 7 games Ben played against Atlanta, he shot 15 out of 45 from the free throw line, which is around 33%. This is now considered to be one of the worst free throw shooting percentages in NBA playoff history. This low free throw shooting percentage costed the team games 1 and 5, where he shot a measly 3 out of 10 in game 1 and a staggeringly low 4 out of 14 in game 5. Due to the fact that these 2 games were very close, Philadelphia fans were not happy with his performance. For reference, 70% is usually NBA league average in terms of free throw percentages compared to Ben's 33% during his playoff performance. To top it all off, there was a play where Ben was driving to the baseline after using a spin move before passing out the ball to his teammate Matisse Thybulle, passing up on a wide open dunk. This poor decision making and bad free throw shooting made Ben, who at the time was the second best player, into an unplayable asset in the semifinals. This further infuriated Philadelphia fans up to a breaking point. Ben's no-show performance was seen as the main reason why their team lost to the Atlanta Hawks. Ben ended up losing a lot of motivation to play with Philadelphia because after the playoffs, fans would start sending him horrendous backlash towards him in court and in social media.
It's Ben Simmons. He has to go. You got to get rid of him. I'm not saying trade him for 20 cents on the dollar or even 40 cents on the dollar, but you got to get rid of him.
Knock him down, Ben. Hey, Ben, Cameron, Ben, you went to LSU. Man up, man. Man up. Stop messing around. Come on now.
After the playoff series against the Atlanta Hawks, Ben requested a trade out of Philadelphia. And when Philadelphia couldn't find him any offers to get traded, Ben decided to stop putting any effort into his own training. There were reports during the offseason where his teammates wanted to meet up with Ben and have a talk with him, but Ben turned them down. And near the end of the off-season training camp, Ben was thrown out of practice by their team coach Doc Rivers because he was, quote-unquote, refusing to take part in practice drills. There are also hints that Ben may have a lack of empathy towards his teammates. By not showing up to play any games, the whole team turns into a weaker version of themselves. There are teammates out there who earn a fraction of what Ben is receiving, and his teammates are nowhere near as good as him, which makes Ben's teammates more volatile and susceptible to getting traded, or even worse, getting kicked out of the NBA. Ben not participating in games means that his teammates are bound to perform much worse, which could have a detriment towards their future as a basketball player. At this point, it doesn't even matter if Ben leaves or stays at the team, because there will be some permanent disdain towards him from the fans. They will be relentless towards him. After a lackadaisical playoff run, where he seems so passive, so unmotivated, plus the fact that he hasn't showed any semblance of an improved offensive game since his rookie season, shows that right now, Ben has a clear lack of motivation to keep playing for the team. This, along with the fact that he stopped practicing to improve as a player and requested a trade out of his own team, further supports that Ben has lost all his motivation to continue moving forward with the team. As of recording, the 76ers have finished 7 out of the 82 games this season, with Ben not showing up to any game yet. Mentally, he's just not ready to play. I believe that if Ben humbled himself and apologized to the fan base, he'd quickly be forgiven by most of the fans. But Ben has always been too proud and arrogant of himself. This, along with his lack of improvement after 5 years in the NBA, resulted in Ben receiving more hate and criticism towards himself, which ultimately ended up destroying his confidence and motivation to play basketball.